guys, welcome back. Well, I'm going to take the Snaptain A15H out now for its flight review. Now, if you watch my channel, you know a couple days ago I did the unboxing, so I went over most of the things with this drone. Though I'll quickly try to go over a few things that I didn't touch on or I wasn't quite sure on whenever I was doing the unboxing of the drone. Now, I've already got it powered up, I already got it connected. It's got white LEDs in the front arms and red in the rear, though they're rather small and kind of difficult to see, so I'm not even sure how well they'll show up in this video because it's rather bright and sunny today. Also, you get the white LEDs here in the front. Now, there's a decent amount of wind blowing right now, so it may struggle a little in this wind today at times, but we'll set to see how it does fly. Now, the flight time I got was around 9 minutes, just a hair over, so a little bit better than advertised. Right on the very high end, I think it was 7 to 9 minutes was the advertised time for this drone. Now, the app that you're going to use is the Snaptain Go app, and I'll put that up here on the screen, the screenshot of it. I've already got it bound up, so I'm not going to exit back out to show you. Just connect to the Snaptain drone and then open up the app, and then away you go. The Wi-Fi did have some lag in it, and there's a bit of jello in the camera. Not terrible, at least as far as I could tell in my camera when I did a test flight yesterday. But it does have a little bit of jello, and there was some lag, which you do expect. But most people are just going to be recording the video rather than flying with the actual app. So most of the time, I don't even fly FPV whenever I'm, using the app. I'm just filming the FPV feed from the camera. So let's go ahead and we'll take the drone up now and we'll do a test flight. Now I'm going to put it on the ground now. And to calibrate the gyros to level, and that's one thing I didn't mention in unboxing, it's both sticks down and in. It'll beep and you'll see the rear light. There's a white light on the rear back, which I didn't point out also. So that's all to help you with orientation, but it doesn't, it's not easy to see that during the bright sunny daytime. So I'm gonna go ahead and start recording some video. It should be recording the FPV stream, and just go ahead and press takeoff. Now, I'm not going to be able to really trim this a whole lot because it's really fighting this wind. There are 3 speed rates for this drone. That's pretty slow yaw right there, if you can see that. It's struggling into this breeze. Go up to the middle rate and it increases more. You can see there. You got a breeze going from right to left, so that's what it's fighting against. There's the yaw, the middle rate, and there's the highest rate, and back down to the lowest rate. So 3 beeps, I'm going to take it up to the highest rate, just so I'm able to fight that breeze when it does kick up. It's not a constant breeze, but when it does kick up, it is quite windy at times today. It does 360 flips decent. They're not bad at all. I'm going to show you one here. For a drone of this size, it actually does them pretty good. Doesn't lose a whole lot of altitude. Because this is an altitude hold flyer, which so many of the drones are. It makes it easier for a beginner. So I like to always recommend you learn with full manual without any altitude hold. But it does make it easier to fly. But these altitude hold flyers are slower to rise and to then drop back down, see? So if you want to try to fly up and go over something, you got to give it a throttle a little sooner with these altitude hold drones, because you end up flying into something, because they just don't raise up or drop down in altitude as quickly as a full manual flyer like the Ghost Shock drone I reviewed, or a bigger drone like the Bugs 3. It's just a basic full manual flyer. So the flight time, as I mentioned, was right around 9 minutes on this, and the 800 milliamp battery. Not bad at all. The LVC was around a minute. All those lights will flash. The controller doesn't beep. Some of the Snaptains do beep on the controller whenever they're low. This one doesn't. I'm not going to take this too far away from me just because of the wind. Let's just kind of take it up and try to pan around a little bit, but the wind's really pushing the drone I have to get full throttle, well not full throttle, but throttle forward to try to keep it. You know, you can't keep it stationary on a day like today. The wind's blowing it right by me now. When I flew this yesterday a couple times, I was able to see my FPV screen a little better. There was less, glare of the sun, and I could see there was some jello wobble, which is pretty common in these toys. Some don't have them, most of them do. It didn't look to be extreme to me, and when it gets really extreme it makes the video useless. I didn't see that to be an issue. Supposedly this is an upgraded version of this model from Snaptain. I don't know if the first one had some issues. A couple of my friends have it, and I don't know exactly what was the problem. This one seems to fly just fine. But yesterday I was trying to film this review, and right at the end, and it was the other one, I got two of this exact same drone. They both flew identical for me. It just lost power and fell to the ground right at the end of the flight. It wasn't like the cut motors, it just lost power completely. But it wasn't this one I'm flying here, it was the other one. They're identical. But I think they sent me the second one because it's supposed to be the upgraded version of it. But I didn't know that at the time. And I had a couple friends tell me that who were notified by Snaptain. So I set both boxes together thinking they accidentally sent me two. And I didn't pay attention to which one was the second one that came in. But I flew them both several times yesterday and I couldn't tell a bit of difference. With the exception of that little fluke power thing at the end, and I've not heard that that's an issue. It could have just been some fluke thing with the other one. But it flies nice, a little noisy, it's a geared drone. They tend to be a little louder than the direct drive ones. I think there's a coupon on Amazon. If you check this out, just make sure you clip, if you're interested, then make sure you clip the coupon because there's a $10 off on the Amazon's website, so you definitely want to do that. I think that drops it down to $59.99. We're about 6.5 minutes in, so this ought to go to around 8 minutes before it'll start to blink. Let's bring it over here and we'll do an auto landing because I'm not really showing you a lot of that stuff. You can also turn the lights off on this, as I've mentioned in the unboxing. And these kind of drones land just fine. You can do a manual takeoff by just doing the sticks out, down and out, and then just manually take off once you unlock them. Let's see if I can show you the lights. I'm gonna turn them off. Hopefully that showed up. I'll bring it forward again and I'll turn them back on. So you can turn the lights on and off. That'll save you a little bit of battery power, but it's not going to make much of a difference, if any at all. For orientation reasons, obviously those white lights in the very, very front are the easiest for me to make out. But you also that's one reason the FPV screen can come in handy, is you can obviously tell which way you're facing if you're familiar with your landscape by looking at your FPV feed. But there's a tiny bit of lag, which is common on these FPV flyers, but not enough that you can't determine your orientation. And it's slow enough flyer that the lag's not enough to bother you if you want to try to fly by FPV. But I found these Wi-Fi FPV drones on these toys are never really good for just flying solely FPV. Maybe for a few seconds. It's more for recording the video and just getting a quick look at where you're facing. If you want to try to frame up a shot or something like that. You can fly this with just the app, but I wouldn't recommend it. I personally never found the app flying to be easy at any of these. All right, we're 8:50 here, almost dead. It's flashing. It's going to try to go ahead and land in a second, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to land on its own here before I'm going to tell it to land before it tries to land on its own. I'm going ahead and stop recording video. So I think it was around 9 minutes and 10 seconds. So this battery here, it comes with an extra battery. And since I have two of these drones, I've got 4 batteries. Some batteries are going to be a hair better or a hair worse than the other one. I got 9 minutes you know, on the other battery I timed. This one was at what, a little over 9 minutes also, and it still had not auto landed, but it was probably just seconds away from doing that. But like I said, you never know, you get a little better battery and a little worse. But the fact you get 2 batteries is nice. If you charge them both up, you can go out and get yourself, you know, 18 minutes of flight time between 2, which is pretty cool. I still got my FPV bound up here, so I'm still able to see what it's doing. It's still powered up. This drone seemed to perform just fine. I had no issues. The only problem I had obviously was with the other drone at the very end of its flight, but otherwise it flew just like this one. So if you order, I don't think you have any problems. And if you do, Snaptain's excellent. They're one of the best drone sellers on Amazon. They're very big. They would certainly take care of any potential issue you might have, but I don't foresee that being a problem. All right, guys, well, that wraps up the flight review of the Snaptain A15H. If you have any other questions about the features or what's included, be sure to check out the unboxing video, which is posted a couple of days. It's my most recent review or video before this one, so go ahead and check that one out if you have any questions on what is included in the contents. Please do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the subscribers and everybody that subscribes. It's really nice to see that count go up. Be sure to click the bell so you know when I do post a new video, so it lets you know you get notifications. Otherwise it's easy you can miss a whole bunch of videos. And as always, guys, have a great day.
The power of the dark side.